What if I told you that right now, while you're sitting comfortably watching this, the muscles that catch you when you trip could already be quietly shutting down? And most people over 70 have no idea it's already happening to them. Not because anything's wrong with them, not because they're sick, but simply because of how little we ask of two small but powerful muscles tucked away in the back of your lower legs. Here's the part that should genuinely excite you. There is one simple exercise, something you can do standing at your kitchen counter while the kettle boils, that directly targets these exact muscles, and within just a few weeks can measurably improve your balance and cut your risk of a fall. No equipment, no gym membership, no getting down on the floor. Just 2 minutes, a counter, and a little bit of consistency. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it, how to progress it safely, and why it works when so many other exercises simply don't reach this part of your body at all. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoyed this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. I'm Dr. Adrian Fairborn. I started this channel because so much of what I see in my clinic, the quiet warning signs, the small changes that predict a fall months before it happens, almost never get explained to patients in a normal 10-minute appointment. With over 20 years in medicine, I've watched countless people focus entirely on their hips, their knees, even their core, while completely overlooking one of the most important areas of all, their ankles and calves. And that gap, that one overlooked area, is exactly what we're fixing today. Let's start with the why, because once this clicks, you'll never look at your ankles the same way again. Every time you walk, stand, or shift your weight, your body is constantly making tiny automatic corrections to keep you upright. Most of these corrections don't come from your hips or your core first. They come from your ankles. This is called the ankle strategy. And in plain English, that simply means your ankle and calf muscles are usually the first line of defense when your body senses it's tipping slightly off balance. They make small, rapid adjustments, dozens of times a minute, often without you ever noticing. Now here's what happens with age. The calf muscles, specifically the gastrocnemius and the soleus, those are the two muscles that make up the bulk of the back of your lower leg, are among the first muscles in the body to lose strength and responsiveness as we get older. Research published in the journals of gerontology found that calf muscle strength can decline by as much as 40% between the ages of 70 and 90, a far steeper drop than in many other major muscle groups, 40%. And because these muscles are your body's first responder to a balance disturbance, when they weaken, that first line of defense gets slower and weaker right along with them. Think of it like the suspension on a car. When the suspension is fresh and responsive, it absorbs every little bump in the road before you even feel it. But when that suspension wears out, every small bump gets transmitted straight up through the car, and suddenly, even a minor pothole feels like a major jolt. Your calves and ankles are your body's suspension system. When they're strong, small wobbles get absorbed and corrected instantly, often before you're even consciously aware anything happened. When they're weak, those same small wobbles travel further up your body, and what should have been nothing becomes a stumble, and what should have been a stumble becomes a fall. And here's the number I want you to really sit with. In a study tracking older adults over several years, those with measurably weaker calf strength were found to be nearly 4 times more likely to experience a fall during the follow-up period compared to those with stronger calves. 4 times. From one pair of muscles most people never specifically train. But here is the genuinely good news. Of all the muscles in your body, your calves respond to training remarkably quickly, often faster than larger muscle groups like your quadriceps or your glutes. They're used to working hard, all day, every day, just to keep you upright. They simply need to be challenged slightly beyond what normal daily walking demands. And they respond. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. So let's get into the exercise itself. I'm going to walk you through 4 levels from the gentlest starting point to a more advanced version. Just like building anything worthwhile, there's no rush here. Some people spend 2 or 3 weeks at level 1 before moving on, and that's exactly how it should be. Level 1. The supported double leg heel raise. Stand facing a kitchen counter, a sturdy table, or the back of a heavy chair with both hands resting on it for support. Place your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Now, slowly rise up onto the balls of both feet, lifting your heels off the ground as high as feels comfortable. Pause at the top for 2 full seconds. Then lower your heels back down slowly with control, taking about 3 seconds to come all the way down. That's 1 repetition. Picture a 76-year-old woman named Margaret, who came to see me after a small stumble in her garden. Nothing serious happened. She caught herself on a fence post, but it shook her confidence badly. When I tested her ankle strength, she could barely lift her heels an inch off the ground before her calves gave out. Margaret had spent decades on her feet, gardening, cooking, walking the dog, and yet these particular muscles had never once been specifically challenged. Within 3 weeks of doing heel raises daily, she told me she felt steadier just walking across her own kitchen floor. Do 12 repetitions of the supported heel raise, once in the morning and once in the evening. Once you can do all 12 smoothly, without your knees buckling inward or your body swaying forward and back, you're ready for level 2. Now, let's keep going with level 2. Level 2, the slow lowering heel raise. Same setup, same counter, same starting position. But now, the lift-up happens at a normal pace, taking about 1 second to rise onto your toes. The difference comes on the way down. Instead of lowering in 3 seconds, you're going to lower over a full count of 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down, with as much control as you can manage. This slow lowering phase is called an eccentric contraction, and in plain English, that simply means the muscle is working hard while it's lengthening, rather than shortening. This type of contraction has been shown to build strength and resilience in muscles and tendons more effectively than the lifting phase alone. And it's exactly the kind of control your calves need when you're catching yourself from an unexpected wobble. Do 10 repetitions, once or twice a day. If your calves feel a deep, tired burn by the end, that's exactly what we're looking for. That's not pain. That's the signal that these muscles are finally being asked to do something new. Now, let's move to level 3. And this is where balance and strength start working together. Level 3, the fingertip heel raise. Same movement, rising up onto your toes and lowering slowly, but this time, instead of resting your full hands on the counter, use just 1 or 2 fingertips, lightly, purely for balance, not for support. You should feel almost no weight going through your fingers at all. This small adjustment matters enormously. When your hands are doing real work, your ankles can be a little lazy and let your arms compensate. When your fingers are barely touching, your ankles, your calves, and the tiny stabilizing muscles around your feet have to work together to keep you steady the entire time. This is where that ankle strategy we talked about earlier gets directly and repeatedly trained. Do 8 to 10 repetitions, focusing on quality over speed. If you feel yourself wobbling significantly, that's completely normal, and it's actually useful information. It tells your nervous system exactly where it needs to improve, and with repetition, it will. Now, let's keep going with the final stage, and honestly, this is the one that surprises people the most. Level 4. The single leg heel raise. Stand facing your counter with light fingertip support, just like level 3. Shift your weight onto one foot and lift the other foot slightly off the ground, just an inch or two, by bending that knee gently behind you. Now, on the standing leg, rise up onto your toes, pause for 2 seconds at the top, and lower slowly back down. That's 1 repetition on that side. This single leg version asks 1 calf to do the entire job that 2 calves were sharing before. It's a significant jump, and that's exactly the point. Real life rarely gives you 2 feet planted evenly and symmetrically. Walking, climbing a single step, turning to look behind you, these are all single leg moments. And this exercise prepares your calves for exactly that. Start with 5 repetitions on each leg. If 5 feels too difficult right now, that's perfectly fine. Stay at level 3 for another week or 2. There's no failure in taking your time. The goal is steady progress you can sustain, not a personal record you can't repeat tomorrow. Here's how this fits into your actual day without adding a single extra minute to your schedule. While the kettle boils, while you're brushing your teeth, while you're waiting for the microwave, while you're on a phone call, standing in the kitchen, those are all heel raise moments. You don't need a dedicated workout time. You simply need to notice these small windows that already exist in your day and use them. Important warning. Before we go any further, I need to pause and say something directly to you. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not medical advice. It is not a substitute for a conversation with your doctor. And it is absolutely not a reason to stop using a cane, walker, or any mobility aid you currently rely on without professional guidance. If you have a recent fall, a diagnosed balance disorder, a foot or ankle injury, severe arthritis, or any condition affecting your circulation or nerves in your legs and feet, please speak with your doctor or a physical therapist before starting this or any new exercise. Always have a sturdy counter or chair within reach, and if anything causes sharp pain, cramping, dizziness, or anything that doesn't feel right, stop immediately and check in with your doctor. Here's what I really need you to hold on to from everything we've covered today. Your calves and ankles are not a small, forgettable part of your body. They are your first responders working constantly, automatically, to catch every small wobble before it ever becomes something bigger. And unlike some parts of the body that decline and stay declined, these muscles respond, often faster than people expect, to the right kind of gentle, consistent challenge. Every heel raise you do, while the kettle boils, while you brush your teeth, while you wait for the microwave, is a small deposit into a steadier, more confident version of yourself. Not someday. Starting today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.